Hi everyone and a very warm welcome today. We have with us Ashish Vidyarthi at our Talent Analytics Conference. Actors, Analytics, how?
Why? So, my surname Vidyarthi, it means student. And I'm really here as part of my learning curve. So, many people told me that this is going to happen here. I said that I have to stick around and have a look at what's happening. So, I have no clue of what is analytics.
Conversation we were having on the need to continue to upgrade yourself, to educate yourself. And you were referring to the point that you're really never done in that journey. So tell me more about your thoughts on keep educating.
Yeah. As education, it's not like something which is coming external. It's like each time we have a different role. When we were in the 9th grade, we had a different role. When we were in 12th, we had a different role. When we got into college, we had a different role. We never thought that we are reinventing ourselves. All that was happening is that we were being alert to what was happening around and we did whatever was required. Okay? Consider that after a period of time, as we grow older, as we become mature, and worst, if we are successful, we have already become dads, as we say in Hindi. In Delhi language, dad become a dada. So you become so big that now it is very uncomfortable to even get into a learning conversation because people say, oh, I thought you were a resource person, how come you have come to learn? And that beats the logic out of life. Because life is about each one of us having a wow factor. And wow only happens if you have seen something, if you have experienced something which is wow to you. As opposed to, yeah, I know that, yeah. The best sunset, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the best coffee, yeah, I know that. So I've so much known that other person who's never known that said, wow, amazing coffee, yeah, like extraordinary, and you say, yeah, that's okay. So that person is having an amazing time having that cup of coffee or having that amazing sight or having a conversation. Yes, it was lovely speaking to you, and you say, yeah, I've spoken to her. Yeah. So we undermine whatever is there. Education is nothing but looking at this moment wide-eyed, willing to learn, willing to experience rather than say, yeah, I've done it. So when I say I've done it, I've done that, I've seen it, I'm pushing myself away from it. I'm saying that I will tell you something about this. I didn't ask you. Can you experience this? Can you just feel the warmth? Can you just say that, oh, I didn't know that. Please tell me more. What is it that will stop us from taking something which the universe is ready to give to us? Just the need to ongoingly grow is an ingrained process. Don't come in the way of it. A slightly older generation, when the joy we teach them, like I taught my mother when she was around, that how a smartphone is used, and she was, it's so nice. That smile. How will it be that we who are on top of everything latest still have something which brings a smile to our face? And I think that walk towards wonder, towards wow, makes life amazing for us, even before we are doing it as a favor to others.
Really looking back at your career in acting for the last 24 years and reflecting of what are the instances or experience that led you to think about Abby Minor? And I think that's a question that everyone probably in our audience is very intrigued about. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so consider each one of us has a question about the other.
Yeah.
And the question is more to do not so much with the question, but what do we think about that person?
Yeah.
So there's a particular way I will be looking at you, and if I see you in some place else that it doesn't fit into my understanding of you, I'll have a question. So I do get these rounded or square questions.
Yeah.
And the challenge is whether I want to fit in my answer into that opening that people are giving me. My life, as I've discovered, or people's lives that I've discovered, is amazing that we can have a life of and.
Yeah.
And what happens with and is that it allows you to explore other aspects than what even you imagined yourself to be. And I think that's even exciting for me as a personally, that I can do many things, and I can, be continuously probably at the lowest end of my learning curve each morning. So I don't get to be an old dog. I don't get to be in a zone called I've been there, done that for a while. So even as I was, training myself to be an actor and started acting over these last few years, I've always been intrigued by human beings. I've been intrigued by human beings and the ability of human beings to reinvent and refocus themselves and create themselves in ways way beyond what even they imagine or others imagine. So I always saw more into just a day's work. And at one point, just to anecdotal, but it's interesting, is that here I was working in the south of India, and I was really upset with myself. It was very warm and away from family. I was feeling sad with myself, and I was trying to whip myself. And then I suddenly realized that, I'm having huge disrespect for one day of my life. And it struck me at that point that as an actor, I don't give dates, I give days of my life. And in each of those days, I give 12 hours of my life. That altered something about how I was related to my profession. So, funnily, I was on a flight, a late night flight, and I got chatting. I love to chat. So I got chatting with this gentleman who was sitting next to me, and we chatted all the way. I think it was from Hyderabad or Bangalore, a long flight. Late night, as we landed, as we were chatting live, suddenly this gentleman turns to me and says, "Why don't you have such conversations with organizations?" I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, but do you have conversations?" I said, "What do you do?" So he didn't know me. So I said, "I'm an actor." He just wore his glasses. "Oh, yeah, I've seen you." That gentleman was Mr. Emmanuel David. And I didn't know him. And so we kind of connected after that. About 6, 7, 8 months passed. And then he invited me for one of my first sessions. So essentially what happened was that I was open to what is possible. I did not limit myself to what I thought was only possible for me. And that is my invite, when I lead these programs, I have my conversations. It is so fulfilling when one sees oneself having many aspects rather than the singular aspect one would relate to oneself as. And that makes it exciting, both at the level of self-satisfaction and also at the level of contribution. That there is so much we may contribute if we can just break some of the myths that we have about ourselves.
Your reflections as well on the role of instincts when you're looking at predictability, and we've heard a lot of things about predictability, but you have a different point of view, which is more probably related to the listening too. What is the role of instincts when it comes to predictability?
Instinct is not just doing whatever it is to do with taking calls and data available. You will take a call and I will take a call. Same data available. You with your experience will take a call. I with my experience. I'll call it experience because that is the only differentiation anybody can understand. What's the difference? Difference in experience. Okay.
But isn't there something more?
There's something, I don't know. But where I am is that the same data, how come two people are taking two different calls? I don't want to hang on to the mumbo jumbo of it.
Yeah.
But I think that instinct is something which comes naturally to us. Any curb on what strikes me, what would be a great idea if we can do it, is don't curb it, share it. Maybe we add something somewhere. If we are scared of instinct, then it is as if I'm tying my right arm behind us. I'm not going to use that. I'm only going to use this one. Consider how will it be if you can be, if I can be creative with it. So creativity is part of instinct. Creativity after all that you're taught. And then you say, you know what? Can we have a spot there? Sure, it looks interesting. What is that? It is that instinct. Do you think it works? Yeah, sure it works. This flower is just looking this way. It's not equal. Works. I think it'll work. Are you sure it'll work? I don't know. But I think it'll work. Let's try. And I think that human element is in any case there in life. So let's celebrate it. Rather than making it a pariah. And it's not an either or situation. Analytics is that light, and the human being is choosing how to move in that light. So, it's that mix of experience and instinct, which in any case makes us maneuver through life.
So I'm intrigued that everything that you are sharing with us today is a lot of playfulness. So let go of the spectator, finding yourself, listening for. It's a lot of playfulness. And when we look at the corporate world, I don't think there is enough playfulness.
One of the things that really breaks my heart is that these amazing people in corporations, they make such amazing things for us. They make amazing devices for us. They make amazing games for us. They make amazing things that we use, the phones that we use, the bags that we carry, the things, the lights that, we say, wow, yaar, maza aa gaya. It's great, man. It's amazing. And those corporations are people who are delivering the kind of, they know what they're dealing with us, and you don't know what's happening behind the back. For example, when people watch films and they're like so joyful, great, I love the film and all that. And then you ask people who make those films, they say you don't know the amount of hard work which has gone in. You don't know what is going on. And somewhere for me, that something, the Rubik got cracked, and I got. Why is it that if Esther says that she enjoys the film, I have to tell her, but you don't know what went in? And you know what got cracked for me? I thought that unless we as people don't make our job difficult to sound, we feel that we won't respect our work. And I said, I'm going to break that myth. And I really tell people, I had an amazing time there. And they say, you partied a lot. I said, no, yeah, but I had an amazing time.
I learned so much.
No, it's not just learning, it's just I had an amazing time. I'm like buried in mud, and there's a fight sequence on, and if I say it's not an amazing time, still I am buried in mud. And all that icky stuff which people, they have said they've cleaned the mud, and I know they haven't. So I better have an amazing time here, because that time is different from this time. And I'm now having an amazing time sitting here and chatting with you. So essentially, to take the excitement out of life is like saying that, let's do the next thing boringly, man.
Why would you do that?
Why? Because in any case, we got to walk this path. Might as well walk it be mindful, but have an amazing time doing it, rather than creating everything as a chore and waiting either for the Friday night or the summer vacation or the thing on the bucket list. So I'll share something very interesting. The bucket lists are all those things that we want to do, like I want to go to Peru, or I want to go to Kanchenjunga or to Machu Picchu. The bucket list is there, and I want it. It struck me how, we've got friends coming in and we say, listen, I couldn't join you for lunch, or I couldn't come and meet you, or somebody's birthday, something happening somewhere, I couldn't get it midweek or whatever. A few years back, I discovered that's all part of my bucket list. I'm not going to wait for Machu Picchu to put a tick on my bucket list. So my bucket list is even that breakfast that I felt too tired to go to, but I went and I enjoyed. Or that meeting to another city. You just go and meet that person there. Kaisa hai tu yaar? How's your anniversary? And you're there at the anniversary, you're kind of creating some special event around it. Because for too long, we have put the most difficult things, the most distant things as part of the bucket list. Why can this not be part of a thing that we had an amazing time chatting life and work? Rather than saying that on my bucket list is heart talk. So till I get on to heart talk, I'm upset with life. It's not part of my bucket list. It's another day. You're not satisfied.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much, Ashish.
Appreciate it, Esther.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity.